Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots, he scores, you suck.
Rick's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
What up? What up? Welcome to the Bamless BAM Sports Show. Bamless once again.
Bamless once more.
Bamless forever. I'm, I guess, your host tonight, Ryan. I got Rick from Jacksonville. I got
What's
Keith
up?
from Springfield. What's going on?
Yo.
Boys? How was your premise?
It was good. It was good. We were part of, so I gotten like 10 days off, which was really only equated to 1 work week off. But because I got charged leave for weekends as well.
Yeah.
But the wife and I went up to Savannah, Georgia, spent a couple of days up there. Said a beautiful little old school bed and breakfast, celebrate our anniversary.
Nice.
And then Christmas we went over her folks' place. And it was a good time.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
One of you guys got something playing in the background. I don't know which one, but
It's probably my wife.
There.
my wife.
I'll text her, say, hey, can you turn that down?
Turn it the fuck down. God damn it. I'm still off of work. I'm going nuts.
I'm off work
Nice.
too.
I
We
wish.
We go back
We closed
Monday.
down. Yeah, I go back Tuesday. We closed down for the week after Christmas, or the week, Christmas, starting at Christmas and on. And I like the break, but this is the first
Yeah.
time that my family has also, like, my wife took off as well. And
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go back.
This
to
is the
work.
first one my wife had to work since her job change.
Yeah, see,
Congrats.
I've got a little mini break here because we have a couple days off next week for the new year, and then I get an extended little break after that because next week I start going back to the overnight shift. So,
Back to overnight, huh?
Ugh,
Which-
gross.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually excited about. Hey, Rob, what's up, dude?
What up, Rob? How you been? Merry Christmas. Well, we got sports to talk about. We've got bowl games on now.
There is a bowl game on now. It's
We've
3-0
got
at half.
bowl games coming up. We've got bowl games that have happened. We're all bowled over and bowled.
Yeah.
Smoking bowls and whatnot. Best bowl so far is the one with the gigantic living Pop-Tart that they ate at the end. He went into a toaster and then he came out the bottom and they ate him.
Yeah.
It's real grim.
Yeah, I was kind of the only one I've been mildly tuned into. I'd kind of fallen asleep earlier, take a little couch nap before the show. Was the Mizzou and Ohio State game, and it's a pretty ugly game.
Yeah, was that the one you were talking about, Keith? It's 3-0 right now.
It's 3-0
in
at this
favor of
8
Ohio
minutes
State.
left in the third quarter.
Fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Today we had Notre Dame beating Oregon State in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, 40-8.
The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
See, this is my favorite time of the year, is bowl season, and it's not because I watch
The
a lot
Duke's
of college
Mayo?
football. I watch no college football pretty much because Illinois is not usually in it. But I just love the names of the bowl games, so I'd like.
It's
to
like
go
last
through-
year, FSU were the Cheez-It Bowl champions.
Yep. So today you have
So.
the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, featuring 2 teams that neither of them are from Florida, so that's weird. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, played in El Paso, Texas. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Those are the 3 today. We talked yesterday, Thursday, we had the Pop-Tart Bowl. We also had played at Yankee Stadium, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh Lord.
And then played at Fenway Park, not to be outdone by the
Did you hear what happened in that game?
Wasabi Fenway Bowl. I have not. No. Did somebody die?
They ran out of beer.
All right.
Yankee Stadium ran out of beer.
Shocker.
Shocker.
Yeah. Well, so Rutgers. Okay. I mean, they're kind of a home team there from Jersey. But Miami, you had the University of Miami coming to your stadium. How are you going to run out of beer?
Yeah, no joke.
The Melanoma High Noon Bowl.
The Melanoma Noon Bowl.
We have the Duke's Mayo Bowl was yesterday.
Nice.
That bowl always grosses me out.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Just because they
Sounds
dumped Mayo on the
absolutely
winning
gross.
coach.
Oh, also the
That's awesome.
Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Not played at Guaranteed Rate Stadium. Played at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona.
I didn't know Guaranteed Rate Stadium was a thing.
Yeah. Isn't that the White Sox stadium? Isn't that Guaranteed Rate, Keith?
I think so. Let me look it up.
Yeah. And then you've got,
Who's in the,
go ahead.
who's in the Waffle House Bowl? That's what I want to
Is there a
know.
Waffle House Bowl? I
If
don't
there
know.
is, I'm
Yeah, it's the White
getting
Sox.
off the show. And
Hey Rob, is it the White Sox stadium? Rob's around. Yeah, it's the White Sox stadium.
I don't see a Waffle House Bowl, Rick, but what I do see is a Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl.
most
Which
excellent.
Does sound
Most
like
excellent.
something you would be able to find in a fantasy game. The Avocado Cure Bowl.
The Avocado Cure Bowl.
Yeah. It's
Most
naming-
excellent.
The naming for these. You got the classics, the Cotton Bowl. Sorry, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Not to be confused with the new one, I guess. I don't know. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Capital One Orange Bowl. Those are all coming up this
Yep.
weekend.
Yep.
But the names on some of these bowl games is just so wild. On Monday, we've got the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, which sounds disgusting to eat, to be very honest with you.
It's like
Iowa versus
drinking
Tennessee.
a glass full of orange juice and chomping down on some Cheez-Its.
Or, so the way I thought about it is a cereal, but instead of cereal, it's Cheez-Its, and instead of milk, it's just orange juice.
That's disgusting.
That's a punishment for next year.
For fantasy, yeah. For sure.
So yeah, bowl games going on right now. The big one tonight going on, the Mizzou versus Ohio State. We'll just kind of keep updated on that, but it does sound like it's a snoozer. No
Yep.
Marvin Harrison Jr. He's declaring, the first round of combine invites went out or are going out this weekend. So
Sure.
yeah, but then Monday we've got the football semifinal games. Mizzou and Alabama and Texas and Washington.
You mean Michigan and Alabama?
What did I say? I said Mizzou, didn't I?
You said Mizzou.
I was thinking about the Cotton
The game
Bowl,
that's
my
going
bad.
on right now.
Michigan, yeah. So that's all I know about bowl games, though.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the post college season with the combine.
You mean draft season?
The underwear games and the drafting scenarios. And I'm only interested because my Chicago Bears currently still hold the Carolina Panthers #1 pick, which is #1 overall.
We tried to help take that away from you.
Yeah, well, you didn't try hard
we tried.
enough.
We tried pretty damn hard.
Yum.
Ugh.
And then after that, shortly after that, the XFL. Well, whatever I think the biggest speculation I've heard is that it's going to be the UFL, but I don't know if it's going to be like 2 split leagues this year and then next year. Well, excuse me, technically 2024, if that's going to technically be, like separate XFL, USFL. But excited about that nonetheless, just because I got my Battlehawks.
Yep, Battlehawks are staying in it. It does sound, I think last time we were on here, we talked about the teams that had been confirmed at that point. Hawks were one of them. It looks like
Yeah.
last week, about a week ago, a former XFL standout Jacor Pearson.
Yeah, he was the receiver for the Sea Dragons.
Yeah, so he reposted an email, and now I can't find it because I didn't think about XFL before I started doing all my research for the show. But he had tweeted and deleted all of the updates coming for the USFL XFL merger, and it sounds like there is still a base of operations, and that's going to end up being, I think it was Arlington. From what I read.
Yep.
But every team is going to either play in or near their home market. So the Battlehawks are still going to be playing in St. Louis.
Right.
Just teams like Memphis or whoever will have to
Sure.
figure out a home market stadium.
Sure. Yeah. One thing I did see, and I'm not sure how much weight this is, but I'd seen a post. I was just messing around on my phone at work earlier, but I'd seen that there was speculation that, whatever the combined league is, I think it's going to be the UFL, United Football League.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever it becomes a singular league, there is speculation that the Houston team for that league, because you saw the Roughnecks were getting dropped and the Gamblers, from the USFL were staying. From what I read, there was speculation that possibly, this is going to be weird to explain. The players from the Houston Gamblers would just get rebranded as the Houston Roughnecks in the new merged league. So they would drop the branding of the Houston Gamblers, but the players that are currently signed to USFL contracts would become the Houston Roughnecks. Which, if you're only going to keep one Houston team, clearly the Roughnecks are
a better team or better.
The
name.
branding. Yeah.
Yeah.
The logo for the Houston Gamblers looks like the logo of like a textbook publishing company. So
yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. But that should be interesting. I'm just curious as to who's going to play quarterback for the Battlehawks this year. I know we're getting Hakeem Butler back.
Do you think AJ's coming back?
I would be more than okay with that, and I'd be cool with. I'm not sure what type of commitment or contractual whatever that Jordan Teamu has to the Defenders, but I'd be more than okay with him coming back too. Either one of those two guys.
Do you think that they will hold? And I would think that they should, but just hold a draft.
Yeah, I think there's still going to be a draft. In fact, I'd seen a post. I forget when it's supposed to be, but there's still supposed to be a draft.
I'm trying to see.
They're still going to do a draft every year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would imagine though, so you're saying that Hakeem Butler is coming back, so he's contracted or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen a lot of posts about players signing letters of intent with individual XFL teams. So I don't know if the legality behind that, but the post that I saw was that Hakeem Butler had signed a letter of intent with the Battlehawks. So
I had to mute
take
Keith
that for what you
a
will.
second because your wife's show or whatever she's watching is super loud.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all good. So it looks like, from what I can see, training camp rosters will consist of 75 players per team, and training camp, the commencement of training camp is scheduled for February 23rd, 2024. So it's coming.
You know what, Chuck? I'm just about sick of your shit.
I'm not.
No.
Bring it. Pile the shit.
Shout
on,
out to my
Chuck.
good buddy Chuck or Charles. He is in another fantasy league of mine that I'm in the championship of, and
Of course.
kind of similar situation to you guys in my, in the league that you just joined this year, Ryan. The no pun intended. So it's another one of my buddies from Texas, and old Chuck here is one of the guys in that league. So I haven't actually met him in person or anything like that, but seems like a cool dude. We kind of have a love-hate bromance going on. Love me the Rick, and was sad I couldn't play him. Yeah, I know. So we were both in the semifinals, and he unfortunately lost to my opponent this week.
Damn.
And so,
yeah. I'm only in two championship games, I think. But one doesn't really count. It's the BAM league for one of them.
Okay.
And, nobody pays attention to their team in that league.
I agree. I agree, Charles. One day we will meet on the championship virtual gridiron. But yeah, no, it was for me. I had made the playoffs in every league but the one that I'm the commissioner of, the no pun intended.
Really?
And in all three of the leagues that I made the playoffs in, I ended up making it to the semifinals. One of the leagues, I was the number one seed, so I got a bye week and then got my ass soundly handed to me in the second round after the bye week.
Yeah, that's what
and
happened
then
to
the
me
other
last
two
week.
leagues, I will tell you, I'm kicking myself in the ass in both of the leagues that I'm in the championship of, because I decided to cut Joe Flacco.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Because I saw Amari Cooper was out. He's playing what some consider to be one of, if not the top defense in the league, just on its face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, like it's been a fun ride for Flacco, but surely he doesn't just go bananas on his former team, one of the top defenses in the league. And boy, was I wrong. And in that league that me and Charles here,
Flacco is a stud.
Flacco is, we're about to get into that here in a little bit.
Joe Cool.
Joe, the real Joe Cool.
Yeah.
But in that league that me and Charles are in, they award bonus points for, like, if a quarterback throws for like 400 yards, that's bonus points. A 40-yard touchdown, that's a bonus point. That 50-yard touchdown. So like big plays and big yardage on the day, you get bonus points for. Well, in that league, I want to say
They really
he had
showed
scored
that
like
last night, by the way.
he had scored, I want to say, like 35 points in that league. So,
man, Joe Flacco. I mean, he's got to be comeback player of the year at this point, right?
at a minimum.
Right?
But I've got a case to make about that. I've got a case to make him the MVP. But I'm actually really thirsty, so I'm just going to grab my water out of the other room. But definitely want to talk about Joe Flacco.
He asked the Jets to come back when Rodgers went down.
And the Jets said no. We would rather have Trevor Siemian and Zach Wilson.
And Tim Boyle.
Not Mike White, because Mike White's in Miami now.
Yeah.
And
I don't get it. If Joe Flacco was willing to play.
I mean, yeah, Joe Flacco was kind of a shell of Joe Flacco's self when he was with the Jets. Maybe, there's more problems than just the quarterback and the New Jersey team.
There's a lot of problems. And one of them is number 12.
Oh, man. Did you see Ryan Fitzpatrick poke fun at him?
I did not know.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is... I'm really digging post-football career Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's awesome.
So, in order on the Pat McAfee show, old 12 said that he's wants to start having reporters tell him his their vaccination status beforehand. And so
Which is stupid.
Fitzpatrick said, had vaxxed twice. Ryan Fitzpatrick, former NFL quarterback, vaxxed twice. Aaron, can I ask you a question here? Just trolled him. And
That's funny.
I love it. Because I think that the whole thing is just so fucking stupid from Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing CW is a Browns fan, and I'm here to say I hope you guys do really well in the playoffs.
Oh, I do too.
I don't
as a
wish
Seahawks
a Super
fan.
Bowl win though on the Browns.
I do.
I don't, because that means the serial rapist gets a ring.
Whatever.
They can have their trophy and their ring after he's off the team.
No, I think that this is the time. I don't know that Joe Flacco, with the contract situation of Deshaun Watson, I don't know that Joe Flacco's back next year. So 1,000%, I'm 1,000% in on the Browns winning the Super Bowl this year with Joe Flacco as their quarterback.
There's not a runaway team this year, is there?
No.
It's real.
The closest one's probably the 49ers.
But they've got the
the Ravens.
But they have issues too, yeah.
I'd say right now, and I haven't checked power rankings because I usually don't give a fuck about those until the Bears are good, and just keeping it real.
So next year,
we'll give it a couple of years. But I would feel like right now the number one power ranking team is probably the Ravens, but even then you can't feel good about that team.
I think you can. They've been pretty dominant.
I mean, if you're a Ravens fan, you can, for sure.
No, I think that they are probably, well, I mean, until what I saw last night, man, like if Flacco gets Amari Cooper back healthy, I'd felt like the Ravens were the runaway team for the AFC. But man, I don't know. Old Joe Cool, he just might get it done. I don't know.
And to be very honest with you, there is still a scenario that the Browns could win the North and also the number one seed.
Don't the Ravens have to lose out in order for that
Yes.
to even be a possibility?
Yes, they do. And they won't. But I'm just saying, they've, much like my
It's
Chicago
technically possible.
Bears, there is a road to this happening. It has not been closed yet.
Right. I did want to push back a little bit on, I was listening to you guys in there with regards to Joe Flacco's time with the Jets. So I watched Joe Flacco with the Jets last year. I think maybe 2 or 3 times that he had stepped in when Zach Wilson was hurt and Mike White, was not available or whatever the case was. He was still wheeling and dealing, man. Like I watched him. I want to say there was one 400-yard game that he had, but he was still wheeling and dealing 300 yards, 400 yards, like right around that area. And yeah, the fact that they chose Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian over not only Joe Flacco, but I thought Mike White was a hell of a player, for a backup. That dude had a damn cannon. So the fact that you ship both Mike White out and send Joe Flacco on his way, the fact that you choose Trevor Siemian, and I get you have to save face with your number 2 overall pick, which whatever. But man, do they look stupid for not having Joe Flacco right now.
So real quick, I'm going to pop in a couple of CW's comments because he's in here and I want to make sure he or she or they feel recognized. But the Browns making that trade for Deshaun Watson is like an all-time blunder, up there with another all-time trade blunder that I'm going to talk about once we get to that point. with some very large news that was announced over the last couple of days. But, I mean, yeah, if they would have just not traded for Deshaun Watson and not paid him I don't even have his contract up, but it was at
It was
the
something.
time,
It was
like the
north of
largest,
200
right?
million. Yeah, it was north of 200 million.
The 5 years, 230 million,
Yeah.
fully guaranteed, which
Yep.
means that they are on the hook. They don't have a potential out until 2027. Because if they
Jeez.
release him next year, the dead cap number for that is $200 million. 136 the year after that, 72 the year after that. So
Good God.
I think
Which
that he's probably a Brown for a very long time.
for a while, yeah. Which what's kind of insane about that, his off the field shit aside, when he was in Houston, we were talking about the guy, in the light of him being a Verge top 3, top 5 quarterback.
Yeah,
But
he was like C.J.
understood.
Stroud level good when he came out before he had that ACL.
Right. And mind you, I gave a little bit of leeway last year, like, well, of course, like I'm sure his
Got
head
to knock the rust
is
off.
knocked the rust off. I'm sure he wasn't in the greatest football headspace, but I really wasn't impressed with him at all at any point this season that he's played. He had a couple good games, but overall, like I think Joe Flacco's made him look extremely silly.
So, Joe Flacco. Let's talk about Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
I start getting into the weeds, and also real quick, the Browns defense, yeah, super fucking good under Jim Shorts.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love Jim Shorts as a defensive coordinator, not as a head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Vic Fangio. Same with, really most defensive coordinators, Rob Ryan, Rex Ryan, all those.
Right.
So Flacco in 5 games last year, 4 starts, 1-3 for the Jets. He threw for a 1,051 yards in 5 games for a 57.6% completion percentage. 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Fairly pedestrian last year. The year before that was only a couple of games. The year before that, same, only 5 games, 800 yards, whatever. He has thrown in 5 games for the Cleveland Browns in his age 38, almost 39 season. He's gone 4-1, a 60.3% completion ratio, which is, fantastic comparatively. 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. But 1,600 yards in 5 games. I think his 17-game pace or something was like 5,500 yards. He's on pace for like an all-time season. It's cool. I'm really enjoying this Joe Flacco story. Comeback player of the year. Love it. Great
1,000. But
MVP, I just don't see it. I also don't know who the MVP is.
So to me, I don't think he will get the MVP, but I think he should get the MVP. He doesn't have the numbers to back up, what in
the spirit
NFL,
of the name of the thing, you are in the same boat as me. He is, to his team, the most valuable player.
1,000%.
And I have said that for years when talking like baseball and football and basketball. It's always like it should be in the spirit of the name. It's not who's got the most numbers. It should be the most valuable player. If you took him out of that lineup, how would that team fare?
Yeah, I think I can't imagine anybody that you would put as the comeback player of the year ahead of him. I mean, just over a month ago,
Keith and I are
we're
both
talking
right
about
around Flacco's age, by the way, CW. And no,
Yes, we are.
I get it. I get it. I was also tired. I was sleepy. I'm 38, just like Joe Flacco.
yeah.
I was
Anyway,
falling asleep during the game.
yeah, I had to go to sleep because I had to wake up crazy early this morning. But we're talking about a guy who just over a month ago was on the couch.
Mhm.
You know, just like you had
Falling
said.
asleep during the other Thursday night
All right,
game that
falling
he was
asleep
probably
during the other
watching.
Thursday night games. Exactly. And at age 38, comes off the couch, enters a Browns team, you know, who has just found a way to win games this whole year, pretty much. No Nick Chubb. Quarterback situation in flux. He's the fourth quarterback this year to start for the Browns and has just essentially gone on a scorched earth tour
Who's
every single game.
Who's the other one?
Deshaun Watson, PJ Walker,
PJ
Dorian
Walker.
Thomas Thompson.
Yeah, DTR.
Yeah.
And
Or
then
whatever.
Flacco.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of PJ Walker. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. So again, fourth quarterback this year to play a game for the Jets, start for the Jets. And he's gone on a scorched earth tour. I think that he's gone, would you say it was 4-1? I think that the one game that they lost was against the Rams. But even in that game, put up over 300 yards, which I don't know that there's much more that you can ask for out of a backup, especially, again, a guy straight up off the couch at age 38. He has been phenomenal from everything that I've watched interviews and whatnot. It sounds like he was instantaneously extremely well by that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And had an instant connection with Amari Cooper, and David Njoku almost instantaneously. So, yeah, what a really, really cool story this has been. And again, in the spirit of the name of the award, 1000%, the corpse of Joe Flacco that has been leading the Cleveland Browns should be the
Reanimated.
NFL MVP. And I will tell you this
Filled
much.
with
I
skyline
am
chili.
1,000,000,000% rooting for the Cleveland Browns. And as a Seahawks fan, I am rooting for the Cleveland Browns to win the Super Bowl. Because the Seahawks, I love them, but they'll be playoffs.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm with you. I'm going to join your bandwagon for the AFC. And I'm going to hope for the Browns to win it all because I want to see Flacco get another. And I want to see Myles Garrett.
Then just think of the sheer meme value.
Oh, yeah.
If the words Cleveland Browns Super Bowl champions came out of any of our mouths anytime in the past ever in our lifetimes, we'd be the laughing stock. Yeah, you'd be smoking crystal meth.
Crystal crack. It's a combination
crystal
of
crack,
the two.
yeah.
It's much worse.
But take that, the meme value of that, paired with the corpse of Joe Flacco being at a minimum the Cleveland Browns MVP. I will tell you what, if they win the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, you're hearing it here on the show live. I will buy a Joe Flacco Cleveland Browns jersey.
Dude, I will be here to watch you buy it. I'm not going to buy one. I don't have the money for it. Do you know
I'll cheer you on.
Do you know what I would give up to have a quarterback on the Chicago Bears right now? Like Joe, 38 years old, contemplating retirement on the couch, Flacco.
Yeah.
Like you said, he lost, but he had 300 yards, and I'm like, I honestly don't know if Justin Fields has ever thrown more than one game over 300 yards. And I'm not quite certain that Trubisky did it very often either. I would kill for a 300-yard passer. But that's just because I'm a Bears fan and we've become the new Browns.
They're not the new Browns.
I will say
Browns.
in both championship games, I am counting on the Browns defense this week against Atlanta.
That's a good call. That's a good call. All right,
I am
MVP
playing
odds. I
Denver.
found them. Really?
I thought about Denver too, but I don't know. Because I know no Keenan Allen, possibly no
They play the
Josh Palmer.
Chargers.
So
Yeah.
before I get
There's
into
no
these NFL
there's no Allen.
odds,
There's no
I want to talk about this other. Since you're talking about Denver, I want to talk about the other big
Oh,
quarterback
yeah.
story of the day, which is
Yes.
absolutely nuts to me. Russell Wilson is
Insane.
claiming that the Broncos front office came to him and said, "Hey, you need to da 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 whatever with some bonus that's coming up or an injury designation bonus coming up."
Yep.
They're coming out and saying they just asked him to push the date back. He's saying, it doesn't matter what either of them are saying. The fact of the matter is, the big part of it is they said, you do this or we will bench you. And now he's been benched, and now it's been reported that they are planning on releasing him at the end of the season.
No shit. See, I didn't see that part. I saw the locker
Yeah.
room interview. It was, I think just after practice this week. But I watched a locker room interview with Russell Wilson. And yeah, he had talked about it was just after they beat the Chiefs during the bye week that Monday. They had approached him and asked him to adjust the contract, or they were going to bench him at the end of the season. And, say what you will about Russell Wilson. I know we've kind of piled on him for kind of being a diva and, being kind of more enamored by being a celebrity, but I don't think that anybody can argue that Russell Wilson is a bad guy. Like I still, he does a lot of really good work. He still does a lot of really good charity work in Seattle too.
Yeah, so he might be personally like a shithead, like just way full of himself, but he's not out there getting in trouble. He's doing good things for the community. It doesn't matter how big of a fucking cheese ball he is.
Yeah.
And
the way that organization and Sean Payton, as shocked as I am to say this, I've had a lot of respect for Sean Payton for a very, very long time. But I will tell you what, I have lost a ton of respect for Sean Payton this year.
100%. 100%. I think, and really, honestly, telling people all season Peyton does not like Wilson. Don't pay attention to what Peyton says at the press conferences. Peyton wants to draft his high, young QB and develop on his own. I agree. I mean, I think that's always been what he's wanted. The fact of the matter is they're doing Russ dirty.
Very.
I will say, I mean, he's going to get paid. He's walking out of this with hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
But it's... You're going to your star quarterback who you traded a buttload of stuff.
You traded
for,
the farm. You traded the farm.
And you gave him millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm looking at his stats.
He's 6-3 in his last 9 games.
Yeah, he's played all 15 games up until now. 66.4% completion ratio, 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 98 passer rating. He's also got 3 rushing touchdowns, and his fumbles are up. He's got 10 fumbles compared to 6 last year, whatever. But that's a good quarterback, man.
Yeah,
he's been winning. Games.
Has that.
There are a lot of teams that will take that
playoff contention. Yeah.
Would you rather have, Trevor Siemian or Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Would you rather have Drew Lock or Russell Wilson in Seattle?
Drew Lock.
Well, that's just because of the memes. Or Cocklock.
Yeah, well, no, but I also Lock doesn't look terrible and he's young. But I don't know. Anyway, that the discussion, but no, they've done him incredibly dirty, and what a slap in the face to Broncos fans too. I mean, here they're still fighting for a playoff spot, and I don't feel good about Jared Stidham at all.
You're gonna bench. You're gonna bench the guy that beat the fucking Chiefs this year.
Not just beat them, like absolutely just dog walked them. Maybe not as bad as Vegas did. They didn't score a single offensive touchdown and beat them like 20-7 or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
The
didn't
Broncos
complete a
didn't
pass
just
in the second, third, or fourth quarter.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it was on the heels of the Broncos dog walking the defending Super Bowl champs. You approach them and say, hey, adjust your shit or you're getting benched for the rest of the season. And with your team still currently in playoff contention, you bench the guy that's gotten you to that point.
Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts to me what is happening here with this quarterback. And then if he does, so it's not official he's being released, but it's like pretty common knowledge that they will probably eat. Let's see here. $85 million by releasing him.
Jesus.
Which goes towards their cap next year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you got to think Peyton's making how much money? You pulled him out of retirement to for this mess.
Yeah.
At this point, you release him. You're going with Jared Stidham, and you're crossing your fingers because you don't have a high enough draft pick for a quarterback this year. And what are you going to do? Trade
we have
more
all
draft?
those.
Exactly. I was looking too, by the way. You guys drafted Boy Mafe, Derek Hall, Charles Cross, and Devin Witherspoon.
Yep.
With those picks. That's insane. That's
Yep.
John Schneider, is that the GM?
For the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
is that a baseball guy? I don't know. I haven't really eaten all day and my brain's starting to get
Oh my god.
Keith was over there looking up porn instead of looking
No, I was looking up Bears 300-yard passers.
It's a very
John Schneider.
It's a very not long list, very short list of 300 pounds.
No, it's not. It's very short list. You don't want to. You want to know the answer?
Yeah. How many has Fields gotten?
1.
Okay, see, I was right. One game, and it was like maybe 302 yards or some shit.
It was 335.
Hey, that's impressive.
It's 335 against the. It was this year against Denver.
The defense that you're hoping wins you a championship. Cool.
Yes. Against Easton Stick without Keenan Allen and possibly without Josh Palmer.
It was a good game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's a shame. It really is a shame.
And Money Mitch has 7.
7. Jesus, that is the surprising one.
7.
Because old Money Mitch.
You'll never guess who has the most.
Old Money Mitch was more of a mud butt Mitch. Most of his Bears career. Who's got the most for the Bears? Rex Grossman or Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler by a landslide.
Smoking Jay.
16.
Man, I fucking hate fucking Mike Martz.
Okay.
What do you have against Mike Martz?
He fucked the Bears.
He ruined the Bears
so fucking hard. So hard.
Fucked them hard. You don't remember this? I remember this.
He didn't like tight ends. He didn't think tight ends were all that. Whatever. So what did we do? We just sent away a future Hall of Fame tight end, Greg Olsen. We could have won multiple Super Bowls with that roster.
Yep.
I'm not bitter. God damn it. I got to see Devin Hester, Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist Devin Hester, run back an opening touchdown in a Super Bowl. So that was cool.
Yeah, I have a very different outlook on Martz.
Well, yeah, it's
Him
because you're a
being the
former Greatest Show on Turf fan.
yeah, it's true.
And you guys didn't really have that
Very
good of a
true.
tight end, so I guess that does track. You didn't really rely on tight end with that team. You didn't need to.
Yeah, we didn't need to.
No,
We had
you did not.
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt,
Bruce,
Ricky
Marshall
Pearl,
Falk.
Azair Akeem, Marshall Falk.
But listen, it was a very fun team to watch.
Yeah.
MVP odds right now. Who would you guess is the number one?
I would say CMC, but it's probably not.
Yeah. I would say him, maybe Lamar Jackson.
It's probably like if Brock Purdy's name comes out of your mouth,
I
It's
think
not
before
sick.
yeah, I was gonna say I think before the Ravens game, his name was probably in the conversation.
I'm going to give you names, all right? And there's going to be one thing that you notice here. So, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Tua, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen. Brace yourself. Brace yourself, Rick. I want to see you
Oh,
physically
God.
brace yourself. Dak Prescott, Tyreek Hill. So those are the 1 through
That's
7
smart.
or whatever top NFL MVP odds. Lamar is the current Vegas odds leader.
Yeah.
Dak up there, but who's missing? Who's a perennial?
Joe Flacco.
Well, who's a perennial name in these lists? Patrick
Patrick
Patrick.
Mahomes.
Patrick.
Okay, and
Patrick
so
Mahomes.
here's the thing that I've never understood, never gotten very much with the NFL awards. So the MVP is mainly basically become a quarterback award.
Quarterback
It's
award?
best QB award. But so if Lamar Jackson is the odds-on favorites for 2023-24 NFL MVP, why is he in third place for the NFL Offensive Player of the Year? CMC is leading the Vegas odds for Offensive Player of the Year with Tyreek at second and Lamar third. And to be fair, CeeDee Lamb fourth. Fantastic season out of him. I just don't understand how Lamar is fourth for Offensive Player, but first for MVP.
Because he's
I
a
don't
quarterback.
get it.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Still remember the Bears post-game shows where Ed Obradovich on the other one, can't remember the name, was going crazy on Martz's game plans.
It just was a dark time. It's a dark time. And then the other couple of big awards, Defensive Player of the Year. They have no odds out right now. It's very close between Parsons and Garrett. TJ
can
Watt
see that.
is currently holding up third, and I think, honestly, he probably does have a good shot at winning it. He's got a lot better counting stats than Myles Garrett right now. I just personally feel like Garrett's the more disruptive force. But Offensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, it's got to be C.J. Stroud. He's the odds-on favorite by a country mile over Puka, who's got second place votes right now. Very cool.
I imagine Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs have to be up there somewhere.
So it's Stroud, Puka, Gibbs, Sam Laporta, then Bijan, Jordan Addison, Rashee Rice. Bijan, by the way, is bumming me out so hard to be on that Atlanta offense because I don't know what he did. He fucked Art Smith's wife or something. Like he is getting doghouse treatment for as good of a player as he is. But CJ should be the winner, hands down.
Yeah, I agree.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, again, country mile here, Jalen Carter. Again, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Super happy that we got Darnell Wright. Don't care about Jalen Carter. I'm not bummed that we passed on Jalen Carter for Darnell Wright. We needed a offensive lineman. He's shown all season that he is going to be an all-pro, perennial all-pro right tackle.
Yeah, he's just got to get his feet right.
I said it pre-draft. I picked him out as the guy I wanted the Bears to target in the draft. I called it. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with how he's been this season. So, Devin Witherspoon has the same odds as Will Anderson, though. Love that for the old Illinois boy. And currently right now the NFL Comeback Player of the Year odds are DeMar Hamlin minus 600, Joe Flacco plus 1,200, Baker Mayfield plus 1,200, Tua and Russ as well. Rounding.
I don't want to sound insensitive by any
DeMar
stretch of the
Hamlin shouldn't
imagination.
win it at this point. It should be Joe Flacco.
I know we
Right.
all sat here beginning of the season saying if DeMar Hamlin plays one snap, he should win it.
He's played
don't
3
feel
snaps,
that way.
and I
don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel
No.
that way anymore.
Flacco is going to retire. Like, he was making phone
was
calls and
essentially-
nobody was answering, and he was like, "Hey, I guess this is it. Sometimes football retires you."
Yeah. It should be Joe Flacco.
It should be Joe Flacco.
Should be. Man, we are 52 minutes into this. We've had some good discussions. We haven't even talked about Week 17 yet. And real quick, fuck the Dodgers. Can we all agree? Fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck the Dodgers.
The stupid fucking Shohei deal and the how they structured that allowed them to sign Japanese star right-handed pitcher to a record-breaking.
$700 million.
Well, I mean, Shohei $700 million, but for Yamamoto, the pitcher from Japan, 12 years, $325 million. So because Shohei structured his contract the way he did, they're able to add $325 million, 12 years on he should be very good, but basically a rookie, pitcher. So, I don't know. There's still a lot of players out there, but fucking Dodgers, man. Cubs are now odds-on favorites to re-sign Bellinger.
God, I hope so.
We are
Can we
the
do
only-
something?
We are the only team in baseball that has not signed or traded for a major league player.
Anybody?
Everything
Anybody.
that they've
We've
done has
done-
been minor league deals.
Yeah, we've done nothing.
Except for Craig Counsell. Anyways, that's baseball. Cardinals rotation is old. Boom, zinger. I got you, Rick. Got him good.
Your pitching staff's old.
You signed players.
Uh,
I got nothing.
Fucking goddamn Chicago teams. Week 17, last night. Browns over the Jets, 37-20.
That
Was
game
not even
was-
particularly that close.
Yeah, the score's not indicative of how that game went.
Yeah. So we've got our Saturday game for tomorrow. We've got Lions going down to AT&T Stadium to play the Cowboys.
That actually should be a really fun game.
It should be a very fun game. The 11-4 Detroit Lions versus the 10-5 Cowboys.
NFC
Last home
North
game for
champion.
the Cowboys.
Detroit Lions.
That's true. Yep, first time ever. Good for them. Cowboys are 7-0 at home, so they have a chance to go perfect here. I
Yeah.
think they will.
And they only trailed once at home.
I know we've kind of lauded their defense all season, but I will say these past couple of weeks, their defense has softened up a lot.
Yes. Yeah, they're getting tired.
Yeah.
But CeeDee Lamb, man, he's 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, 109 receptions. Like, he's having a hell of a year. Dak's having a hell of a year, too. Gotta give it to him.
Yeah, it seems
You
like
don't have to give
they're
it to him, but
where their major Achilles heel right now on defense for the Cowboys has been stopping the run. Well, now you have one of the better running tandems in the whole league in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Yep.
Coming to your house. I think that this is I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, obviously, I want the Cowboys to lose every single game. But this one's a tough one to call, because road Goff is not great.
They're 6-2 away.
Oh, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm thinking of maybe home Goff. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Could be.
Anyway,
They have more losses at home. No, they have the same amount of losses at home.
oh,
I
okay.
think we're just trained to not like Jared Goff.
Or the Lions.
Or the Lions, yeah. It's really weird to say the NFC North winning Lions. Like, it's like,
I love the Lions. I have they are not they're not a straight up side piece to me like the Jags are, but it's tough to not root for the Lions right now.
It's hard to root against Dan Campbell.
100%. And you've got to feel great for Detroit fans, right?
Yeah.
Because
Do you?
the prospect of getting a playoff game, first of all, and then a home playoff game, like, that's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
That is going to be a tough place to play.
Gosh, and can you imagine if they actually go on a run here at the end of the season and I'm not saying that they have as good of a chance as anybody, and this is the biggest test that they're going to face this weekend. But could you imagine if they go to the Super Bowl? Fuck, what if they win
Lions, Browns, Super Bowl.
What if they win the Super Bowl? Do you know where the draft is next year?
Detroit.
It's in Detroit. I cannot imagine that city will be recovered by the time the draft comes around.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if Detroit was bad this year with how bad the Pistons are playing?
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's another record for Detroit. Most losses in a row.
And it continues. They are at 28.
Continues. I don't know if they're going to win another game this season.
No, I don't know.
I'm going to
call
with my gut on this one. And my gut is telling me that the Cowboys are not going to be perfect at home this season. And I'm going to pick the Lions.
I'm going to go with the Lions as well. But it's for the same reason Rick said, is Dallas has sucked against the run. And Gibbs is on fire along with Montgomery. Yep. That line's playing too good.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Lions here as well. The Cowboys certainly play better at home than they do on the road. But I think that just matchup-wise, I think the game script favors Detroit a little bit more. So.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, obviously, this is one of those games where you can see it going either way. They're both very good teams. These are both playoff teams. They're both teams that they both could and should make some noise in the postseason. Right now, just
except for the Cowboys, they'll get bounced out on the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to get bounced in the first round. It's fine. It's what they do. Cowboys right now are the favored team, so this technically could be a group upset pick here.
Yeah.
Sunday. You've got the 4-1 or 4-11. Sorry, 4-1. 2 ones, one after another.
2 ones.
Patriots going into Orchard Park to play the 9-6 Bills. The 4-1 Patriots. Boy, oh boy, I'm sure the clubhouse loves getting that extra win, but they dropped from number 2 in the draft order to number 4 or 5 just by winning that one game. And for a team that is relying on maybe Mac Jones, who I'm guessing is out of the league after this season, and onto his true calling, which is owning a mid-sized, mid-luxury, like a Honda or an Acura dealership somewhere in the Deep South. I mean, because he's just got that middle manager waddle to him.
Yeah.
You know, him
No,
walking out the tunnel is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen on television.
I'll tell you what. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I really am buying in more now to the rumors that Bill Belichick is out after this season, because this to me seems like a Bill won. He knows he's getting the shit can, and he said fuck you to the Crafts. Try rebuilding your team with pick 5 instead of pick 2. Eat my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I'm paying any skosh of attention to this game is because in one of my fantasy championships, I kind of pigeonholed my opponent. Luckily, this week I was on day shift, which means my ass was up at like 2:00 in the morning getting ready for work. So as soon as, waivers had cleared and everything was just now like kind of free game, I went and he had TJ Hawkins here. So I picked up as many tight ends as the league would allow me to. They put a cap on how many tight ends you could have on your roster. So the only healthy tight end the only, if healthy, somewhat viable tight end that, was out there was Hunter Henry. So I ended up picking up Gerald Everett and Tucker Kraft, and I've got Darren Waller. So I kind of pigeonholed him into hoping that he had Pat Freiermuth. He ended up dropping him. But I kind of pigeonholed him into the hope that Hunter Henry plays. But if he does play, he gets to play the Bills coming off of an injury.
Yeah,
So
it's not a fun proposition. I mean, I think we're all picking the Bills here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Blake would be like, "No, I'm actually gonna pick the Patriots."
I don't know that he'd pick the Patriots in this one.
I mean,
I have to be
be a
nice
turd,
to Blake
but-
for at least a month, okay?
I don't. I'm not going. So, Falcons going into Chicago to play the Bears, the 6-9 Chicago Bears,
The
guys.
playoff hopeful Chicago
Guys.
Bears.
6 wins. That's crazy. It's wild.
I am a temporary 1 week Chicago Bear fan because I'm starting their defense in both of my championships.
Solid idea. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm picking the Bears. Bear down, baby. Always and forever.
I'm gonna pick the Bears too. Just
It's Keith's favorite team, I know.
it's this. Yep.
Likewise,
it's
I mean,
totally not
the story here is very simple. You have a dome team from the South going to play in probably 30-degree weather against a very, very solid defense.
37, but sunny.
But sunny. So a cold weather team in the Midwest, solid defense. I know they kind of had a stinker last weekend, but yeah, and their quarterback situation's a mess. I love Taylor Heineke to death, and I don't even know that he's healthy. If I remember right, isn't he hurt right now?
Heineke?
Maybe.
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know. I don't even actually know who's supposed to be starting that game. Last weekend, by the way, they won against the Cardinals 27-16. So,
Well,
Bears
fantasy
really haven't-
purposes.
oh. I can't start the Bears defense in fantasy. I don't even touch them.
Yeah,
That's like,
I'm starting
I'll
this
start
week.
Justin Fields. I'll start DJ Moore. When I have to start somebody from the running game. But the Bears defense is I love the good Chicago defenses. So I can't live and die by that.
Taylor Heineke is
Right.
questionable for Sunday. Unlikely to play.
So it's, yeah, Desmond Ritter. So that makes me feel even better about the Bears defense this week.
Yep, same. Colts Raiders. The Raiders going into
Raiders.
The
I
line
hope
right
the
now is
Raiders-
Indy -3.5, but
I hope the Raiders do what they did to Patrick Mahomes this week.
stab him in
Because
his ribs.
John has to play Gardner Minshew this week.
Ooh,
in the championship.
Sucks for him. I'm gonna pick the Raiders.
Me too.
I
Just
think
'cause I
Rick's
like what
frozen, but I'm not sure
he's
he
been.
could be fucking with us.
Rick, 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 Rick picks the Battlehawks.
It's a solid win. I would actually probably pick the Battlehawks to beat both of those teams.
Last year's Battlehawks.
But no, I think the Raiders are probably gonna win this. The line is Indy minus 3.5, but you
Yeah.
back? He's moving again.
I'm back. Yep, I'm back.
Forgot to feed the internet gerbil.
I guess so.
What'd you pick? Raiders or Colts?
This one's tough because in one of the leagues I dumped Joe Flacco for, the only other viable quarterback on the waivers was Gardner Minshew. So I'm hoping the Colts.
That's funny because I said the exact opposite. I want them to Gardner Minshew to not play well. Because I'm gonna end up playing against him.
Keith's team couldn't just suck one more week.
It's not like your team sucked. My team did suck.
My team did suck last week.
Your team sucked more.
That. Yeah.
Your team just sucked more.
Yeah. It was a bad week for both of us.
Is Pittman playing?
He has cleared concussion protocol, so he is likely to play. The only one ruled out so far is Zach Moss.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit about Zach Moss.
Just letting you know the injury.
And they're playing. Where are they playing at?
Indy.
Yeah.
Lucas.
Yeah. Hell with it. Give me the Colts. They're still. No, I can't do it. Give me the Raiders. Raiders.
Eventually, we're not going to pick the same team.
All right, Rams Giants.
Rams
in the New Jersey stadium. I'm also picking the Rams on this one. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Rams have really turned it around.
Cardinals Eagles, another
Eagles.
Quick question about that Rams game.
Yeah.
The Rams Giants game. Who do you start in a full PPR league? Darren Waller against the Rams, who've actually been a decent matchup for tight ends, or Gerald Everett with no Keenan Allen, possibly no Josh Palmer, with Easton Stick at quarterback against the Broncos, who've been the best matchup for tight ends.
Who do you trust more, Easton Stick or Aiden O'Connell?
No. Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, Tyrod Taylor. Sorry. I forgot. Darren Waller's no longer a Raider.
Oh, yeah. Man, I don't know. Can you play Taysom Hill?
Oh, hell, I would. I'd start Waller and Everett over Taysom Hill this week.
That's Ryan's sneaky tight end play.
I play him so much, and it bites me in the ass every time. And then
it bit you in the ass in the playoffs.
It did. I calculated it. It wouldn't have mattered. If I would have played anybody else over him, it wouldn't have mattered. I still would have lost.
So who you taking? Waller or Everett?
Waller.
Who are the Chargers playing?
The Broncos.
Yeah. Broncos.
In Denver, though? Yeah, give me Tyrod and Waller. I don't like either. Cardinals, Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles. I don't think we need to talk about this. Cardinals are already looking forward to next year.
Dog shit.
I up until today, with the Russ news, I didn't think any team would ever drop a quarterback with over $50 million in dead money, but apparently that could be a thing. I don't think the Cardinals are trying to lose out to get a new quarterback, but I do think that they are probably the ones to pick Marvin Harrison Jr., with Kyler being the guy moving forward for at least a year. But I mean, it's the Eagles all the way.
Yep.
Saints Bucks. This should be a interesting game at least. Playing in
Yeah.
Tampa.
This is essentially the division right here.
The 7-8 Saints against the 8-7 Bucks. The line says Tampa Bay -2.5, but at that point you're just looking at home field advantage.
Right. It's a pick 'em, essentially.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 3,600 yard, 26 touchdown, 8 interception Baker Mayfield over whatever garbage Derek Carr has been producing all season.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me the Bucks as well.
I like Baker, and I need Baker to have a huge game.
Between those two,
Me too.
Between those two guys, like Baker is the one that I trust 100% more than Derek Carr, or David Carr, or Jimmy Carr, or any of the Carrs. I don't know. It's Derek Carr, right?
Yeah. Derek Carr.
David's his older brother. He's
Who
the
got
other
drafted
Carr
by the
that
Texans?
sucked. He doesn't have as pretty of eyes, though. He doesn't have that natural, smoky mascara look going. This is another easy one. 49ers going into Landover, Maryland to play the Commanders.
Give me Brandon Ayuk all day
Yeah.
in my
It's just-
championship game.
These teams
Washington,
don't-
just do me one thing and slow CMC down just a little bit.
So yeah, that's my
a little
opponent
bit.
has
Good
Christian.
luck.
Although it's
Good
weird,
luck.
I know.
my
You gave up
my
your two.
opponent in one league has Christian McCaffrey. In the other game that I'm in the championship of, I have Christian McCaffrey. So but I'd rather my team on that roster that I have McCaffrey on is stacked. So I'd be cool if y'all could limit him to just 20 points. I'll take just 20 fantasy
just
points.
20. That's
Just
just
20.
20, you know.
There's 20.
A very large number for a non-quarterback.
Yeah.
Here is the game that I am going to be paying the most attention to. The 2-13 Carolina Panthers playing the 4-game losing streak Trevor Lawrence-less Jacksonville Jaguars. I need the Jags to do everything they can to win this game. And they're still favored even without Talal.
That's tough. Honestly, I'm not sure. This one's actually kind of tough to call.
I'm just going to say Jags because I need them to win. I need the Jags to win.
Go Jags, and Trevor Etienne scores 4 touchdowns.
So the one thing I can pretty definitively say that I do feel fairly confident in is I think that Josh Allen, the defensive player for the Jags, is going to have his way with Bryce Young, excuse me.
And then Bryce Harper.
Then Bryce Harper, yeah. No, I think
he
is going to have a field day with Bryce Young. So in that regard, yeah, give me the Jags. Duval.
Keith?
Jags.
Jags. Good. All right. And now we have the AFC Championship preview. The Dolphins going into Baltimore to play the 12-3 Ravens.
As long as Tyreek Hill goes off, I don't give a shit.
Tyreek is questionable-ish right now.
He's healthy.
He's healthy.
Play? Is he
He's
healthy?
He's healthy.
Good.
He was
Good.
marked as healthy today.
Oh, good.
But Jalen Waddle's out.
Jalen Waddle,
Waddle is out. So I'm going Ravens on this one, which is the line is -3.5 to Baltimore. I'm going with the Ravens. That defense is too tough. And again, I've said it all season, Dolphins are kind of a paper tiger. You go up against a team like this, I think that they get punched in the mouth pretty hard.
So long as Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins kicker have big games, I don't give a shit. But yeah, give me the Ravens.
I'm gonna just jump on what Rick said. As long as Tyreek has like 2 touchdowns and 150 yards, but I'm going with the Ravens.
I need like 2 picks and a couple of sacks from Roquan. That'd be real nice.
Kyle Hamilton is questionable for the Ravens.
Yeah, I still just without Jalen Waddle there, now you've just got the one guy that you have to really worry about that'll cut the top off you.
Yeah.
I'd be
But
if
Tyreek's so
Hamilton,
fast.
right? But what I'm saying is if Hamilton was, or if Waddle was playing, Hamilton not being in would be a bigger deal, and then I might lean more towards Miami. But again, I just don't think that they can compete with this caliber of a team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hell, the Ravens played kind of banged up last week against the Niners and made them look ridiculous.
Yeah. I really do feel like the Ravens are the runaway favorite for Super Bowl at this point. Texans are hosting the Titans. Come on in.
Yeah.
Big
Give me
fellas,
the Texans.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to take the Texans here too.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's playing. I'm taking the Texans.
3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions from CJ Stroud. What a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Puka's about to break the rookie receiving record too.
I hope that he doesn't this week. I hope that he doesn't play
nobody's
this week.
Radar. Absolutely nobody's radar. It's crazy where he's come from. I love it. The Steelers go into Seattle to play the Seahawks.
What's the Steelers' record?
Hold on, I will tell you in just a second because I'm looking a meme up that I saw, and it has something to do with this game. I saw a picture earlier today, and now I can't find it. But basically, I think I need the Steelers to win. I also need the Giants to beat the Rams, and
you need the Seahawks. You need the Steelers to win.
I need
to help with your playoff odds.
I need the Giants and Steelers to win. So
yeah,
I agree with the Giants. I don't agree with the Steelers.
You need a lot of helps.
Yeah. Well, that's just this week. I need help next week too.
Yeah.
I don't think the Steelers win this.
No, I don't either.
No.
Neither do I.
Give me.
They have played a lot better since the
Seahawks.
The Sea Chickens. They've played a lot better since they fired Matt Canada. But yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks here.
I don't trust. I like Mason Rudolph more than I like Mitch right now, but it's still.
Remember
they're all
when
shit.
Mason Rudolph got hit in the head with his own helmet?
Yep.
Yeah, who did that?
By the actual favorite for the AFC.
Yeah.
Browns.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
We're all closet Browns fans this year.
I mean, you and I are out of the closet now. Hey. Chargers, Broncos.
No.
Picking the Broncos. That's how bad I think the Chargers are.
Yeah.
Jared Stidham versus Aiden Easton Stick.
Jared
is a
Stidham
real
versus
human
Easton
being
Stick.
and a name that his parents gave him. Easton Stick. Should have been a baseball player.
Yeah. Or hockey.
Or hockey.
Or cricket.
Or cricket. Or polo, I guess. Anything but a football player, and that's who he is.
He needs a quarterback who doesn't hit anybody.
No Keenan Allen. Probably no Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer has been ruled out.
Oh, yeah. So no Keenan Allen. No Josh Palmer.
Has Keenan Allen been ruled out?
He's been ruled out.
I think.
So who's your wide receiver one? Like Jalen Guyton? Is that your
Quentin Johnson?
Quentin.
Oh yeah,
Johnson, rookie guy.
Technically,
Gerald Everett is wide receiver one.
Yeah, Gerald Everett is your wide receiver one.
He's a tight end.
Yeah, give me the Broncos.
Or Austin Eckler. But yeah, no, I'm taking the Broncos.
Eckler.
I mean,
Austin Eckler is a shell of himself.
He's still.
I'm almost tempted to pivot to the Broncos defense. for my fantasy championships.
I did not switch out Keenan Allen yet, by the way. That's what I'm doing
You're
right
welcome.
now, in case you're asking.
You're welcome. For
I don't know
your
who do
third
y'all
place matchup.
take? Who do y'all take? The Broncos defense or the Bears?
I'm rolling Broncos. I rolled with them last week too, but it kind of.
Broncos, I think. Broncos have a better chance of scoring a touchdown
But I didn't.
The
versus
Broncos defense?
I couldn't
Yeah.
play Miami's. I couldn't play Miami's defense. It's who I had the last 2 weeks of the season. I played. Who the fuck did I play last week? The Bills, and then the Ravens this week.
God
Yeah.
damn, I had him in like 3 different leagues starting. Phew. All right. Bengals, Chiefs. You know, when the season started, I'm pretty sure the odds makers really loved this game. Into the
I thought
season,
this game at the start of the season was going to get flexed to the Sunday night game.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Kansas City has the line by 6.5. Hopefully, Jamar Chase is playing. He's still listed as questionable.
I disagree. As a T. Higgins owner, one of my fantasy
I
championships.
own them both. They can both go off. Chase closed the week with back-to-back practices, giving him a chance to return this weekend. If healthy, he'll be a mid to low-end WR1 play for fantasy purposes. Good. I'm obviously going to pick the Chiefs. They're playing in Kansas City. They just got, walked over by the Raiders. They're probably pretty pissed off.
Yeah. I think this is a get right for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense is bad. Really praying that Joe Mixon has a shit game.
No, stop wishing ill on my players.
Get better players.
Fuck your players.
Yeah, fuck your players.
You mad or not?
Keith. What are you picking? Chiefs? Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs. Sorry.
Chefs. The
Are
Kansas
we
City.
are we across the board for all the matchups this week?
No,
I think so. Yeah.
I think we maybe have. We're gonna be different this one, I'm sure. No, probably not. To be very honest with you, the Sunday night game. No Monday. Monday's done. We're done with Mondays. Fuck Mondays. Sunday night game. Packers, Vikings at US Bank. The line is Minnesota -1. Both teams are
Congratulations to the
7 and
home
8.
team. It's a win. It's a losing. You're done.
Yeah. Jaron Hall making his first NFL start.
Yep.
Congrats on your career game, Jaron Hall. Happy for you.
Who are you picking, Keith?
The Packers. Not fucking picking the Vikings again.
Yeah, I'm picking the Packers in this one, only because I want to dash their fucking
You're-
hopes next
'cause you're-
weekend when we win. Win, and you go home, baby.
Yep.
I don't-
Um,
I don't know if I want to make the
I don't know,
playoffs.
man. The Vikings defense is actually pretty legit.
But their offense legitimately sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine that, you let go Dalvin Cook and your running game goes to shit.
Yeah.
Who could have
Yeah.
thought Alexander Madison was not ready to be an RB1?
Yep. Yeah, give me the Packers. Give me the
I mean,
Packers.
okay, so we pretty much were all across the board on the same page this week. That's kind of just how it is, though, right?
This week.
You know
it
what?
is,
Fuck
yeah.
it. Just to be different, give me the Vikings.
Don't
You-
do
you
just
it.
son of a-
Don't do it. Don't be that guy.
just to piss Keith off.
You're not gonna piss me off. I don't give a shit. I don't want to make the playoffs. To be honest with you, I don't want to see this team in the playoffs.
I really don't want to see the Bears in the playoffs either at 8 and 9, but it would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they'd have to win the next 2 games, and that's not.
Who are some teams when I say like that you would not want to see in the playoffs if you were
Browns.
the fan of the opposing team?
The Browns.
What are some teams? Yeah, the Browns,
The Rams.
the Ravens. I mean, there's obvious
Any
ones
of
like the
them.
Niners, the Ravens.
My team, who I don't want to see. I don't want to see any of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to see a single one of those fucking teams. They're all good. My team's garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, with my team, we tend to fucking.
I mean, don't
level
take just
out. I
your
don't know
team
how
into
we do
account.
it.
Like, what
I
do
don't
you?
know if you
what do
noticed with the Packers this year. Like, we level out our opponents. Like, we beat the Chiefs. We beat the Rams. We almost lost to the fucking Panthers. We lost to the Raiders.
No,
When the
I'm
Raiders
not
still
necessarily
had-
speaking
I know.
as your respective team. I'm just saying, what are some teams that you think are actually kind of quietly pretty scary?
The Rams are pretty scary.
Yeah. Agreed.
The Seahawks offense is scary.
In the AFC, there's like one team, and that's the Browns right now.
It's the Browns. You don't want to play the Browns.
Outside of obviously
The Ravens.
like the Ravens, but I mean the Chiefs are very beatable. The Dolphins are the most beatable 11-win team out there. The Bills at 9-6. I mean, there's something going on there. Something's weird happening there. The Jags have lost 4 in a row, and now Trevor's hurt. And then who's bringing up the rear? The Colts.
Do the Raiders have any snowball's chance in hell of making the playoffs?
They have to beat
They
the
still have a
Colts.
chance to win the division. They still have a chance to win the
Oh
division.
shit!
Yeah, Kansas City's
It's-
leading that division at 9-6.
Damn.
Yeah, that tells you a lot, right?
Yeah. I have to say Browns, Rams. Yeah, Browns, Rams, Ravens, Niners, Lions. I would even say Lions.
But see, the Lions, you kind of have to expect it though, because they're an 11-win team. You know.
True. Which is nuts. It just feels so crazy to me that there is a possibility of, regardless of how much of a fucking long shot it is, that we could have, boys, a Cleveland Browns versus Detroit Lions Super Bowl.
It is very much in the realm of possibility. Can you believe?
Which
that's insane that we are
anytime
talking
in
about
my
it, and
life,
we're talking about this, and we're not just joking. Like it
No.
could happen.
This could
it
happen.
could legitimately happen.
What fucking happened?
I
But then
think
it just makes me
the
worried about
Niners take
next
the
year.
NFC, but
It just really makes me worried about what happens because the Cubs won the World Series, and then look what happened a few days later. If you're of my political leanings, it was a disaster. What could happen next year? It's crazy.
Well, we know it could happen next year. Something really stupid could happen next year. We won't bring it up. Something really
That's
stupid could happen.
Guaranteed, whatever happens, it will be really fucking stupid. And I'm glad that we
Agreed.
still have sports.
agreed.
Man, it's a long show today. We had a lot to
Yeah.
talk about.
Congratulations, Mizzou.
Really?
They beat Ohio State 14-3.
Wow. And Ohio
Yes,
State was
sir.
up 0-3, weren't they? They were up 3-0
Yes.
at the
yes.
half. Great,
Yeah.
good job. Drew Locke's former school, right? Didn't you go to Mizzou?
I think I know where fucking Drew Lock went to school.
Horsecock Lock. Where did he go to school?
Mizzou.
Yeah,
Mizzou.
that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yep.
Old horse cock lock.
Didn't help that Ohio State's quarterback has already entered the transfer portal and couldn't play.
Oh, and then they were also without
The best
Marvin
player in college
Harrison.
football.
Yeah. Last show of the year. Moving on to 2024. I think next week, our show, what we should do, if you're going to be on, we should have our sports resolutions for next year.
Ah, yes.
I don't have a reason to not be here.
I do it from my basement, and I don't ever do anything with life. So I'll be here. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, CW, and Chuck, and Shannon, and Rob. Love the chat tonight. Long show. We'll see you next week.
Maybe next week you'll see Bam, the Bam guy.
Maybe you'll see the actual B of the Bam. Maybe Blake will.
He puts the B in Bam.
He puts the B in lots of things.
Ayo.
Hey, forget about it. Brush your hair. Say hi to your sister for me.
I love that guy.
All right.
This bread is the size of your sister's ass.
How you doing? See you next week.
Yeah. All right.